Hello, my name is Jared, and today let's talk about 5 filmmaking mistakes that can stifle or kill projects in their tracks. Number 1. Being too precious. Filmmaking is a subjective art form open to many interpretations. If you only want good feedback that makes you feel good, then continue to do this. Put it in those Joe Schmoes film festivals that will take just about anything and only show your friends on your Facebook page. However, in the long run, it will stunt your growth as a filmmaker, and you will feel you don't need to improve on anything. That's a dangerous position to be in. Putting your work out there to the people who can care less about who you are and just want to see good stuff will motivate you to be better. Knowing someone will blast you for crappy material would definitely make you try harder, because when you get hit with a barrage of bullets, it hurts. Yes, those unfavorable reviews will open wounds and make you feel some kind of way, but it will also show you what you need to work on. So the summary for number 1 is, don't be afraid to publicly fail. Number 2. Spit out the bones. Okay, now you have feedback on your work, which people should listen to, right? Some write-ups and criticisms can be frustrating to hear, because it can bring you down or make you see things suddenly you wish you saw earlier before you released it. Some are just personal opinions from people who would have wanted you to direct it their way, but that's not what you're looking for. However, you can read between the lines and see what they were trying to say or things that are distracting them as an audience member. If a lot of people are saying that the sound design of your film sucks, then work on it. Don't just do the same things the next project and hope it works out differently. Change how you do things to better maximize the viewer's experience. The worst thing you can do is make a technical mistake that takes people out of the world you've created. You want to understand your craft. Study the rules of filmmaking and follow them. Confusing the audience because you're shooting all over the place and don't know what you're doing can ruin your scene. So summary, listen with an open mind to the feedback you get and know what is genuinely said to help you and what was said just to bring you down, or what other people would have done if they directed your film. You are not them, and you will never be them. However, if something doesn't make sense or confuses people, take that in, because your goal as a filmmaker is to keep your viewers submerged in your imagination until the credits roll. Number 3. Waiting for the right gear. Yes, we all need gear to make our projects. However, it becomes counterproductive when you sit on your hands until you get what you want. Stop waiting around for those ARRI Alexas and Red Dragons and start small. Great cinematically capable cameras are going for under $2,000 nowadays. There's no excuses why you can't start shooting your project right now. What you should be focusing on is learning how to use it. Same goes with every role on set. Study what you want to get good at. Don't walk on set as a director and don't know squat about how to actually do your job. YouTube is readily available with tons of free videos teaching on everything you could possibly have questions about. If you want to be a writer, search tons of writing videos from different channels. Same with cinematography or directing. Take the simple steps to at least get informed. Then use what you've learned now instead of waiting around for the perfect gear to fall into your lap. Now here's a spoiler alert for you. Crappy movies are made on Red Dragons and ARRI Alexas too. Terrible films have been made with huge budgets, and great films have been made with iPhones and shoestring budgets. A good film is based on a lineup of poor and good decisions. And the more projects you make, the more mistakes you can make and learn from them. If you're sitting around for months waiting for the perfect moment to fall in your lap and rewriting your script 100 times and waiting, you're wasting your time. Now is the time to fail and learn from it. No one jumps on a piano and becomes Beethoven overnight. You have to start from scratch just like everyone else and mess up a lot. To become a better piano player, you don't just buy the most expensive piano on the market. You start with a cheaper bargain basement keyboard and learn how to play it. You practice on it and you get good first. So the summary for number 3 is, gear doesn't make better filmmaking. A lot of filmmaking and making mistakes makes better filmmaking. Don't just rely on gear to save you. Rely on your learned knowledge from doing it a lot. Number 4. Invest in yourself first before you ask others to. Many filmmakers become fundraisers and forget to become filmmakers. Yes, raising money is needed for certain projects, but if that's all you're doing is trying to raise money and not creating art, you're wasting your time. Invest in your projects with what you can afford at the time and start it. If you don't have the money to make your next Star Wars inspired script you have, then put it aside and write something you know you can pull off tomorrow. It doesn't take a lot of money to look around your room to assess what things you can use as props. If you own a wheelchair that just sits around collecting dust, use it. It can be a dolly for your DP or become a prop for a character in your story. If you have friends with houses who are okay with you filming there, then expand your story to those rooms. If you only have access to one location but it looks great, write a script that takes place in that room. Anything done with excellence can be compelling. More people in more locations doesn't equal better. If you can't tell a story in a single room with a few actors, why are you writing outside of what you can't conquer yet? Start small and see if you can handle that first. Build up your resume with smaller, more obtainable things and show off what you can do well. If you're expecting people to just throw money at you because you really want to do it, then you will be fundraising for a very long time. So in summary of number 4, believe in your abilities first before you can get others to believe as well. And number 5, more people doesn't equal more quality. Throwing people at problems isn't always the answer. You can have a 2-person crew and get more quality than having 15 people on set who don't know what they're doing. You can watch a lot of bad short films out there and realize 30 people were on crew for that project. Huh? What happened? They had a big crew, right? They shot it on a respectable camera and even had money to fund it, right? There's a reason why most famous directors work with the same people over and over again. Many new filmmakers will work with anyone, unfortunately, because they are new, they don't know anyone, and they have to learn from experience. And you realize they're not the right fit, or you're not the right fit for that project. You and the director don't even have the same tastes or see eye to eye on anything, but you also don't want to be disruptive or quit, so you work through it and count it as a learning experience. That interview or that phone call was simply not enough time to realize that your sensibilities are not the same. You want the people closest to the creative part of your project to think like you, or at least challenge you in a way to build on or make your work better. The only way to figure out your tribe is through trial and error. Unless you are blessed enough to have somebody come into the game with you who knows your sensibilities and you work very well together. So don't depend strictly on numbers to get quality. Find quality people who are very good at what they do, or a couple who can do multiple things very well until you get your engine running like a well-oiled machine. And you guys can almost read each other's minds. Once you have all your core people down and all of you work well together and produce great work, then you can challenge yourselves more and more with the content of your project rather than the creative differences because you can't agree on anything. So the summary for number 5 is, when 2 or more people are gathered together with the same idea and the same mindset, you can get better quality and more done than 15 people that don't know what they're doing or can't agree on anything. If you agree or disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. If you're interested in seeing these steps applied to projects, then click one of these videos right here.